It's time for another podcast episode of
Always and
Angelic
Just Be
Aspie
Alice.
Alice. We're different, not less. You're different, not less. And now for the disclaimer for every episode of Always Angelic Aspie Alice.
Yes, at Always Angelic Aspie Alice, we value the lived experiences of those that identify as neurodiverse, autistic, chronically pained, have mental health conditions, that identify with different pronouns, culture, backgrounds, sexuality, and so on.
We appreciate and acknowledge lived experiences as vital to the wonderland of Always Angelic Aspie Alice.
However, our experiences may be different from those who have different experiences, and our advice, /experience, /stories, /personal mantras, etc. do not replace medical or diagnostic information.
We are not therapists, counsellors, or doctors. However, we hope you find another episode of Always Angelic Aspie Alice helpful.
We welcome everybody to be, live, thrive, and belong as different, not less.
Oh,
Hi.
hi.
Hi, great. And yeah, thank you so much for coming on. This is episode all about chips and McDonald's and basically about our favorite foods, our sensory foods and all of that. So thank you so much for coming on.
So for 15 minutes, we let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah. Not really, but figuratively.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate foreign chips because they get soggy and they get dirty.
I was thinking, when I accidentally drop a chip, and it's funny that I'm mentioning chips because there's a cat next to me. We have 4 cats here in Melbourne, and this cat Zia, she loves chips, and every time I mention the word chip, she's gonna look up at me. I bet. But
Wow.
Here we go, because basically I get a little bit of a McDonald's chip, say whenever I get McDonald's, and I'm like, I have to say, sit or whatever, and then I throw it to the ground. Just a little bit so she can eat it. She can go chase it and eat it because she always comes up and she always is like, meow, I want the chips. And fair enough, they're tasty when they're not cold or just left there.
That's true.
And then Oscar's caught on too.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, what can I say? Cats love a little bit of potato. Time I have something vaguely potato related. Zia's up here.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and do you like chips as well?
I do like chips, and I think you said you like chips too.
I do, yeah, especially McDonald's chips. I've got a hankering for them every week.
Man, if I had any spare money right now to get McDonald's chips, I probably would.
Me too. I didn't realize until a couple of years ago, I didn't realize they're deep fried, but I'm like, oh well, that's why they're tasty.
Yeah, I mean, I realized that McDonald's chips aren't the healthiest thing in the world, but hey, sometimes you gotta treat yourself, right?
Exactly, and I think being a large is only 400 calories, and I can eat that amount of calories and something else, which is worth it for you, I guess. So I feel like chips over other things isn't as bad,
Chips and even tastier, hash browns. I love hash browns.
Me too, but I'm sorry, I'm more of a fan of the chips just because I get more grams. Because with the hash browns, I feel like the McDonald's hash brown isn't as big as chips.
That is true, but that's why you get a few of them. They're small enough that you can enjoy a few of them.
That's true. I think. Oh, sorry. Did you want to say something before I say something?
Sometimes, I was just going to say sometimes I do have from other stores too. I forget which store, but it's kind of near us in Melbourne, and I can't remember if it's La Paqueta or what, but no, it's La Paqueta definitely, and they sell the best wedges. I'm like, I love wedges. I want wedges, and I think there's definitely all different types of potato. They're great. And at the canteen, when I used to have smiley faces that were potato, those were the best, and I can't find them anymore, it seems.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the smiley faces as well. I used to go to lollipops all the time, and lollipops used to have those smiley faces.
Oh, I remember that. Come for a party. Come for a play.
Come for a
Lollipops
It's a
Playland.
play.
That one, yes. They had ads for that all the time. What happened to it, I wonder?
I actually do know that there are some lollipops still around, but I think a lot of them might have gotten shut down, but I'm not completely sure.
You know, I always thought, what if there was like a dedicated place for adults who wanted to like relive their childhood and crawl through the plastic and all that stuff? That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Actually, there's a place near me in a suburb, kind of near me, and they've got like a lollipops, but it's actually for adults. Like it's for like, I don't know why they've made it from like children and adults. I think it should be one or the other, not both. This is my for safety reasons. But like it's literally available for adults as well, and I'm like, that's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that, you know, many people say, oh, well, you leave behind childish things when you grow up. But I disagree. You know, like, I know there's like, you know, certainly you leave behind like childish teasing, playground teasing, that sort of thing. But you don't have to leave behind, you know, liking toys. You don't have to leave behind liking, you know, various things. You can still watch Sesame Street if you want to and kind of enjoy it as a simple thing, you know?
Exactly. So I'm just closing the window because I've got some very noisy cockies. Cockies is short for cockatoo, and they're really boisterous birds, and I just had to close the door. I mean the window.
Cockatoos. I haven't seen as many of them here for some reason, but hey, it's like I haven't seen as many cockroaches here. Not nearly as many. In Sydney in summer. Sorry, yeah?
I was going to say, there's plenty of cockroaches in my house.
Ah, yes. Well, because you're in Sydney, of course. I reckon
Yeah.
I've only seen 1 or 2 cockroaches in Melbourne. And because there are cats around, I can't just use Mortine on them.
Oh,
Because, like,
interesting.
I think if the cat finds the cockroach and eats the cockroach, as they sometimes do, then, well, Mortine, after all, it's a poison. You don't want to poison a cat, after all.
That's true.
Yeah, but I definitely remember in summer, you know, in Sydney there'd be cockroaches on the benches and stuff sometimes, and I only just noticed too late, and I'm like, oh, it's there. Oh no.
Oh
I want.
no.
I do wonder how I got to abruptly change it from potatoes to cockroaches, but back to potatoes.
That's okay. It's good how our stories go in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, have you ever tried like McDonald's fries? Like I think they're called French fries, and you dip it in their sundae.
Oh, I've never tried that before. Like, I don't do dips as a general rule, but if it comes to dipping into ice cream and stuff, I would love that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
basically in the house I have to like pretty much eat vegetarian or vegan. But like, if I'm out somewhere, say I go to McDonald's, get some chips and ice cream, I'd love to do that. You know.
Yeah, I haven't done it for ages, but I remember actually when I ordered a large fries the other day, which is only for a treat, I usually don't do that. Basically I put like some of the chips inside my burger because like I had so many chips because like for a large you get like a lot of chips, like it's a lot. And then like I had it with my burger and it actually tasted pretty good. Although like my burger was like the chicken and cheese, so like you could taste a lot of the chicken. So I tasted more chicken than cheese, but like it was still a good combo.
Right. I mean, myself, most of the burgers I just never really like cared for it in McDonald's, even when I was eating meat. You know, like you know, chicken. Sure, I would have loved chicken when I was eating meat, but then cheese. I've never really liked many forms of cheeses. You know, if they say, "Hey, here's a slice, eat a slice," I'm like, no, the texture's all wrong and it tastes bad. But if it's cheese pizza, yes, as long as it's not too cheesy. Ironically,
Oh, interesting.
it's
Hmm.
kind of like I'm kind of like Kevin in Home Alone when it comes to cheese pizza. Ah, a cheese pizza just for me.
Yeah. Oh, I had so much cheese today. I think my cholesterol's really bad, so I probably shouldn't have any more today. But I also do love cheese. I love cheese and potato as well.
Mm-hmm. Wrapping potato in cheese slices may be an interesting idea.
Yeah. Or do you know like loaded fries?
Loaded fry. Wait a minute. Fries with cheese inside of them.
Oh, well, I mean, it can have it inside, but I think it's mostly like on top. And sometimes you can add like, other things like bacon or whatever else like you put anything else you want on top, and it's like it gets all melted, and it's kind of like really yummy. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if it's just an Australian thing, but it's like really nice.
Yeah. I mean, like, I probably wouldn't like it myself, but hey, you do you. You enjoy what you enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. And like, oh, I could talk about chips for ages. I was wondering, when you get to McDonald's, what size of chips do you get?
Always one large packet of chips.
Mm,
And small's too small. It's tiny, small option. Medium is like, that's not quite enough. Large, on the other hand, that's a good snack.
of course, yeah. Sorry, I just had to cough. I also do like the large. I try and only get it if I'm really, really hungry. Otherwise, I find it really filling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the small for me it's too small. The medium could work, but like I always get like the size up, like the biggest one, because I feel like for the large, it's like I get a lot for my money, and I'm trying to make sure I get my money's worth.
Of course, even if you get a medium at popcorn at Palace Cinemas, if you ever go to Palace Cinemas and pick medium, it's like a large popcorn anywhere else. Or Cinema
Oh,
Nova in Melbourne, I'm pretty sure has a pretty large medium bucket thingy. Not bucket, but container. You know what I mean? And then it's like, that's pretty cool. But then, you get things like Domino's Pizza, where the large option's just a glorified small pizza.
wow. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's why I go for
I
Pizza
was gonna,
Hut.
yeah. Oh, I haven't had Pizza Hut in ages.
I never had
Oh, I was
Pizza
gonna
Hut in
say,
Sydney, but like,
oh,
I was like, let's try some in Melbourne, and I got it delivered, and I was like, yeah, this is good. But of course,
oh,
being
oh,
being borderline vegetarian, or really technically I'm pescatarian, but like, being yeah pescatarian, I obviously am not having ham and pineapple and that sort of thing, so it's kind of limited
mm,
selection.
mm, that's true. And I was gonna ask you, have you ever tried the chips at Taco Bell? Because there's Taco Bell in Australia.
I think yeah, we went to a Taco Bell. We passed one when we were in visiting Chatswood one time. That was cool.
Yeah, oh, actually, I did go to that Taco Bell once before, like to try their chips. Like, they taste really good. They taste like really meaty,
Mm.
really like just like yummy. I can't explain it. And then like the seasoning is really like spicy. Like I can't explain about it. I love really meaty chips. I love how like when they're really fibrous. You know what I mean?
So like you don't mean like actual meat in the chips, or do you mean?
No,
Oh right.
just like really like mushy and like really like filling chips. I also don't mind McDonald's chips because I think they call them French fries, but I call them chips sometimes. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean like say Hungry Jack's is called Burger King overseas because maybe their burgers are pretty good, but their chips are kind of crap.
Oh, interesting. I
And
was
then
gonna
like
say,
maybe it's personal
sorry.
taste. Maybe it's
Hmm,
personal taste, but
maybe.
I didn't care for the chips in KFC either that much.
Interesting. Actually, I don't mind KFC's chips. They're kind of like pub style chips to me.
Hmm.
Yeah. Also, I was gonna say what was I gonna say? Oh, this is not good. I forgot my memory. Oh, I was gonna say with chips. This isn't my question that I was gonna ask now. I'm gonna ask it anyway. With
Yeah.
chips, what do you most like about chips and why? Like, what do you like about it sensory wise?
The crunch in some of them, the potato filling in a lot of chips, if
Mm,
it's nice and thinly cut, it's like really good. Not too thin though. Ideally you get like a chip. You know how some chips just have, they're a bit wider in something? Like Hungry
mm,
Jack's chips are a bit wider, so they kind of taste different that way. But then McDonald's chips are kind of the right size to me. But they're not too
mm,
thin most of the time. You really still get a taste for the thing, whether you have a handful of chips or you have a few chips at a time. Well, by
yeah,
handful, I just kind of mean, oh, you grab some in your hand, you eat some, you take a bite, you take another bite, and then, of course, once you're done with that handful, yeah, anyway.
yeah. I'm like with you. Yeah, I like chips because they're crunchy, but also I like it when they're really soft on the inside and they're really kind of hot. Like I don't mind if they're too hot because they're usually not that hot to be honest. And like
Hmm.
I'm a big fan right now of like Smith's chips or like the French fries chips you can get in the small packets that are like red. I don't really like those, but I do like McDonald's chips and other like just really good chips, like the fat ones. Yeah.
Oh, do you mean like those crunchy French fries you can find that are like similar to like
Mm-mm.
Smiths and
Mm.
Twisties and stuff?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of them just because they're too crunchy.
I love those so much.
Oh,
once or
interesting.
twice I've like eaten them with a small spoon just to get whole spoonfuls because they were tiny,
Yeah, interesting. I always felt like they were too spiky.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's kind of
Yeah.
like, for me, it was like the cross between, but potato chips and technically, isn't it like dried potato, these chips? I don't know. But like, it's like the
Yeah,
cross between
technically.
those, cross between Smiths and chips.
Yeah, I know. And I was gonna say we do have like 45 seconds to talk about something and then shush. But I'm thinking, you know what? Technically my other episode was only like 18 minutes long, so technically maybe we can speak for like another 2 minutes and then like call it a day.
Okay. Well, it's already past
Okay.
5, so it's not really the day anymore.
I was gonna say call it a day as we get off the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, oh yeah, okay, this is my question. Well, kind of a statement. Okay, did you know that like in Australia, apparently we call fries chips, whereas in like the UK, like in England, they're called chips, but in America, they're called fries.
Really?
Apparently, because I say chips a lot of the time, but I do mean like, you know, you know what I mean. But like, I'm seeing like, yeah, chips, fries. Sometimes they call other things. Also, I know like in America, they call like little mini hash browns. They call them tater tots, and I do like tater tots as well. I also like the word tater tot.
That reminds me. There's like those, I'm not sure what they're called, but they're like the small potato cylinder sort of things. I don't know what they're
Yeah,
called, but they're great.
yeah. Oh, in I think in Australia they're called potato gems, but they're called like different things.
Yeah, potato gems. That's what I was thinking. Like they're not parmesettes, they're potato gems. Like parmesettes would be if it was like a full circle, I think. But then
Mm.
I'm just not sure what the technical
Yeah,
names are. That's what I understand them as.
interesting. And I don't know what country this is from, but like there's a potato thing called rosti. It's like a flat. Not exactly a pancake, but it's made out of potato, and it's like potato gratin. It's like this really flat potato, and it's cooked, and you basically fry it in your frying pan, and it looks like a pancake, but it's just full of potato.
You know, it's ironic we're talking about potato, or more coincidental, just because I just before this podcast, I actually forgot to mention that I've ordered wedges.
You ordered them?
Yep. La
What
Poqueta
ones?
wedges, as I was mentioning before.
Yeah, I know you had wedges. Actually, I had a lot of wedges when I studied my micro credential at Nirimba. Like when I studied my third year bachelor unit, I ate a lot of wedges at the canteen because they were massive and they were like
They
really
really are.
filling. But oh, they still are. But these ones were like they feel like a brick in my stomach afterwards, and I feel really sick. I'd be like, "Oh, that was awesome. Let's do it again next week."
It's like, yep, there's a quick snack before class. Perfect. All right, this will half fill me up.
Yeah.
I mean, people say to me, you'd be surprised how little it takes to actually get full.
Interesting.
But
I get feel really
considering
confused
that
sometimes.
I feel differently because maybe autism, I'm like,
Mm.
maybe I can't tell when I'm full sometimes.
Yeah, me too sometimes. Like today, like literally half an hour ago, I ate like cheese and crackers and then like 4 mini Easter eggs, and I could go on and on. I could eat more and more. Like sometimes I don't know when to stop. Like sometimes like you're eating too much, but sometimes you don't know it.
Yeah.
Mm.
I always got to be careful to not to just have the right amount of rice, not too much.
Yeah, exactly. And like with me, I try not to have too much McDonald's in a day. Like I've cut down. Instead of going like 3 or 4 times a week, I don't even do meals anymore. There, it's more just like a snack. Like maybe like a large fries and then like a large drink that's like the $1 drink you can get because it's
Mm-hmm.
something special. But like I usually wouldn't get meals there anymore. I have had in the past recently, like one of their burgers. I think it was a fish and fillet, and then like the whole meal that came with it. But I wasn't a big fan of the fish fish fillet, fillet. It's a bit of a weird name, but like honestly, I'm only a big fan of their cheeseburger. I don't like their hamburger, and I only like their chicken nuggets. But most of the time, I usually just eat their fries or their chips. I'm not a big fan of anything else there really, but like because the chips I find are really good.
Right. Oh, one thing, I know it's going up to 20
Mm.
minutes, so I just want to recommend
Yeah.
one more thing. if you happen to be in Sydney, which you are in Sydney, and
Yeah.
you know a bunch of listeners are in Sydney, although I'm in Melbourne, I can still recommend this. But if you ever see a restaurant called Soul Burger, it is the most convincing, like, you know, similar to meat vegan restaurant I've ever seen. And many people may think, oh, vegan, it's not going to be good, but it is. I've found vegan food that really is. So if you do want to try Soul Burger, I love Soul Burger and everything there. Like there's churros, there's burgers, there are all types of burgers really, and it's perfect. It tastes quite close, which is a bit of a trouble for me because I still get the cravings for meat. And then, well, yeah, I get the craving, but I don't want to personally. You know, it's just a whole different thing. I don't judge people for eating meat. You know, that's do what you want, but I just don't personally. But I still want to find something close and not, you know, kill animals for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to add one recommendation onto your one. There's something similar that used to be in Parramatta, like, because I go to Parramatta a lot sometimes.
There's a
there
Soul
was
Burger in
a,
Parramatta.
I was going to say that, but also there used to be a Lord of the Fries, which is really similar to your Soul Burger.
Oh, I love Lord of the Fries. I was there once. I can't remember what town though. Oh,
Yeah, it's so good. Except I had like it was a halal snack pack type like thing of chips and all these spices, and that wasn't the best to be honest. But everything else there, I had like the milkshake, the chips, and a burger that all tasted really, really good and really similar, if not the same kind of taste as like real meat and real cheese. But like I'll go back again, except like they don't have that in Parramatta anymore. And that one was like the closest one to me.
yeah. Like ideally, I feel like the more substitutes they make, the more convincing they make them. I may one day go fully vegan, but for now, the only meat I'll eat is fish, and I'm mostly vegetarian outside of that. Because milk, you know, at least you can tell butchers are like, we have animals on the front displays, but and we have ducks hanging in the window, which is awful to me. But like anyway, you still have. I do think if they make it more convincing, I'll be able to. It'll be easier for me, you know. And the more widespread it is too, the options.
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to wrap up this podcast because we are kind of like over 20 minutes. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, listened to something a bit different. We talked about chips and food in Australia, and we tried to focus on fries a lot because that was going to be our main topic, our main subject. And I really hope you enjoyed it. And I just wanted to say something about my voice. I'm a bit, what's the word? I've kind of lost my voice a little bit. Hopefully it will come back. My voice is soft anyway. I call it my ASMR voice because I think I'm making content for ASMR one day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed it. And thank you so much, George, aka Spike Greene, for coming on.
You're welcome. Have a good day or
Cool.
night, everybody listening.
Yeah, and I'll see you again next time, George.
Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Always Angelic Aspie Alice.
We hope you enjoyed it and learned something new.
Goodbye for now.
Remember, you're different, not less.